Good morning all. Today we are going to start with the subject electric drives and control for automation. We will begin with the first module, DC generators. Let's look into the working principle of a DC generator. You have already studied this during your school classes. The working principle of DC generator is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. As you are aware, according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, whenever there occurs a change in flux linkage, an EMF will get induced in that particular conductor. So in order to explain the basic working principle of a generator, let's consider a loop here. So you will be able to see a loop here, A, B, C, D. It's actually a closed loop which is being placed in a magnetic flux. This is actually the north pole and this is the south pole. So definitely the magnetic lines of flux will be moving from this north pole to south pole. Consider the direction of rotation as clockwise. So let's start with this diagram. So if you are seeing in this diagram, this coil ABCD is rotating in clockwise direction and the axis of rotation is given by this red line. So if you are seeing this coil, in this coil there are two coil sides, coil side AB and coil side CD. These coil sides are also called as conductors. So as this coil is rotating in clockwise direction, this coil side AB will be moving downwards and coil side CD will be moving upwards. As these two coil sides are moving in downwards and upwards direction, definitely this coil sides will be cutting the magnetic lines of flux which is moving from this north pole to south pole. So whenever this coil sides are cutting this magnetic lines of flux, definitely there occurs a change in flux linkage and EMF gets induced in this conductors AB and conductor CD. So this is the basic working principle of a DC generator, that is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So the magnitude of induced EMF is given by the rate of change of flux linkage, that is the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux linkage, which is generally indicated as small e is equal to n into d phi by dt, and the rate of change of flux linkage is represented as d phi by dt. Now let's see the direction of induced EMF or the direction of induced EMF, the direction of induced current in the coil. In the case of a generator, the direction of induced EMF is given by Fleming's right hand rule. This also you have studied in your plus 1 and plus 2 classes. According to Fleming's right hand rule, you have to stretch the three fingers in your right hand, that is the thumb, middle finger and the index finger. So if you are stretching these three fingers in such a manner that these three fingers are perpendicular to each other, then the thumb will indicate the direction of motion of the conductor, the index finger will indicate the direction of flux, and the middle finger will indicate the direction of induced current or induced EMF. So if you are trying to apply the Fleming's right hand rule in this diagram, you will be able to identify the direction of currents in this conductors AB and conductor CD. So let's see, this conductor CD is moving upwards, so definitely you have to point the thumb towards the upwards direction because the thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor. So the index finger is from north pole to south pole because the index finger is indicating the direction of flux. So if you are pointing these two fingers perpendicular to each other, then definitely the middle finger, the direction of middle finger will indicate the direction of current or the direction of induced current in the conductor CD. So accordingly you will be able to identify the direction of induced current in this conductor CD is from C to D. So since this conductor CD is moving upwards when this coil is rotating in clockwise direction, the direction of current in this conductor CD is from C to D. Similarly, you will be able to identify the direction of current in conductor AB. As the conductor AB is moving downwards, definitely the direction of current induced in this conductor will be opposite as that of the conductor CD. So definitely the direction of current induced in this conductor AB will be from A to B. Now let's look into the direction of induced EMF in this coil ABCD after 180 degrees of rotation from this position. So after 180 degrees of rotation means definitely the position of this conductors AB and CD will get interchanged and the new position will be represented like this. So if you are looking here, you will be able to identify in the conductor AB the direction of current is from B to A, because in this case in this situation you will be able to see this conductor AB is moving upwards, whereas in the previous case the conductor AB was moving downwards. So definitely the direction of current will also get reversed. In the previous case the direction of current was from A to B, so in this case the direction of current will be from B to A, and in the conductor CD the direction of current will be from D to C. Here also you will be able to identify the direction of induced current by using the Fleming's right hand rule. For explaining the basic working principle of a DC generator, we have considered a closed loop, but in actual practice this loop is not closed one. So now let's see the loop being kept open and it is connected with a slip rings. See, this coil side KL is connected with slip ring B and coil side NM is connected with slip ring A. The same diagram in a different projection is indicated here, and there is actually a load also connected along with this brushes. Okay, so while comparing with the basic working principle which we have explained just now, so if you are seeing here the same coil only we will be indicating here also, only difference is the coil is being kept open rather than closed and it is connected with the slip rings, and the slip rings are connected to the load using the brushes. So if you are comparing this figure, okay, if you are comparing this figure with this working principle diagrams which we have explained, you will be able to identify the direction of current will be in this particular loop which I am indicating using this cursor. The direction of current will be in this particular loop during this position, and after 180 degrees of rotation definitely the direction of current will get reversed and the new direction of current will be like this. See how I am moving the cursor, it's very clear for you. See, now the direction of current has been reversed after 180 degrees of rotation. Okay, anyway, we will come to the detailed portion of it in the upcoming slides. So you just have to understand the basic working principle of a DC generator is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and the direction of induced EMF is identified by using Fleming's right hand rule. Next we are going to learn about the nature of induced EMF in a DC generator. So in order to analyze that, we will be dividing the one full cycle of rotation into different segments. These different segments are indicated here. Okay, so this is position 1, which corresponds to the vertical position of the coil. There is actually 0 degrees, and this is position 2, it corresponds to 45 degrees after rotation of this coil. Then comes the position 3, which corresponds to 90 degrees after rotation from this initial position. So in this case or in this position, the polarity, sorry, not the polarity, the coil will be lying horizontally, or the coil will be lying along with the lines of flux. Okay, and then while moving to position 4, that is from the initial position after 135 degrees of rotation, then moving to position 5, that is from the initial position after 180 degrees of rotation. Okay, so let's see how or what is the nature of induced EMF in this coil side during this 360 degrees of rotation or during one complete cycle of rotation. Considering position 1, definitely the flux linkage will be maximum in nature, but from the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction we are very aware that the magnitude of induced EMF is indicated as E is equal to N into d phi by dt, where d phi by dt is indicating the rate of change in flux linkage. So while considering this position 1, this coil side AB is lying parallel with this lines of flux, or when this coil side AB is moving through position 1, it will be sliding along this lines of flux. So the flux linkage will be maximum. Hence this flux linkage is maximum, the rate of change in flux linkage will be minimum. Hence the rate of change in flux linkage is minimum, that is almost 0. Not almost, it is actually 0. The magnitude of d phi by dt is 0. So what happens is, the relation E is equal to N into d phi by dt will also becomes 0 at this position 1, which is indicated as 0 EMF or 0 voltage. So this position 1 corresponds to 0 volt. Now let's consider this coil is rotating in clockwise direction, and now the coil has moved from position 1 to position 3. Let's consider position 3 now. As this coil side AB is rotating from position 1 to position 3, it completes 90 degrees of rotation. So as it is passing through position 3, what happens is, this coil side AB will have minimum flux linkage. As this coil side AB is passing through position 3, it is cutting the lines of flux. Hence it is cutting the lines of flux. The flux linkage will be minimum at position 3. But we are very familiar that induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change in flux linkage. Even though the flux linkage is minimum at position 3, the rate of change in flux linkage will be maximum. Hence, position 3 corresponds to maximum EMF induced point, which is being indicated as this point 3 in this characteristics. So, when moving from position 1 to position 3, the EMF induced will be changing from 0 to maximum value. Okay. Now consider this coil is rotating further from 90 degrees to 180 degrees, that is from position 3 to position 5. As moving from position 3 to position 5, that is the coil side AB as moving from position 3 to position 5, the magnetic flux linkage goes on increasing, which corresponds to, or which indicates that the rate of change in magnetic flux linkage goes on decreasing. That is, the magnitude of induced EMF goes on decreasing when this coil side is moved from position 3 to position 5. This is being indicated here. From position 3 to position 5 is being indicated as points 3 to 5. So if you are looking the point 5, the conductor AB will be just moving in parallel with this flux lines, just like how it was moving through position 1. The magnetic flux linkage is maximum, hence the rate of change of flux linkage will be 0. That corresponds to 0 induced EMF, which is represented as 0 volt in position 5 here. Next we are going to analyze the coil side's rotation from coil side AB's rotation from 180 degrees to 360 degrees. As I have already explained before, after 180 degrees of rotation, definitely the direction of current in that particular coil side will be changing. So from 0 to 180 degrees, if the direction of current, induced current in coil side AB was from A to B, then from 180 to 360 degrees, definitely the direction of induced current in conductor AB will be from B to A, which is being represented as negative half here. So if you are looking here, for the first 180 degrees of rotation, that is from 0 to 180 degrees, the EMF induced in coil side AB is positive in nature, or the direction of current induced in coil side AB remains the same from A to B. And if you are seeing it in the next 180 degrees, that is from 180 to 360 degrees, definitely the direction of current has been reversed, that is from B to A. So it is being indicated as negative half from position 5 coming back to position 9. Position 9 is same as that of position 1. That is only when it is completing a single cycle. From this explanation, it's very clear that the nature of EMF induced in a coil side is AC in nature. See, this might be a confusing part, but this is the basic concept, the very important basic concept of a generator. In all generators, let it be DC generator or AC generator, in all generators the nature of EMF induced in the coil will be AC in nature. Keep it in mind, the nature of EMF induced in the coil will be AC in nature. So now all of you will be having a doubt, then how you can say it as a DC generator. Let's see. So we have learned that the nature of EMF induced in a coil side will be AC in nature, but in the case of a DC generator the output is supposed to be DC in nature. So how can we convert this AC into DC? From this diagram I very well explained that after 180 degrees of rotation, definitely the direction of current in this loop and the direction of current in this load has been reversed. That is when we have used the slip rings for the construction purpose. So it is clear that if you are using slip rings, the nature of EMF which will be getting across this load will be also AC in nature. So it's clear that if you are using slip rings, whatever EMF is being induced in the coil, you will be getting it as in the same way through its brushes. If you are using slip rings, that means if you are using slip rings, the nature of EMF across its load also will be AC in nature. So it's very clear that you are not supposed to use slip rings of a DC generator. So instead of slip rings, we will be using split rings in a DC generator. First of all, let us see the construction of split rings. Split ring is actually a cylindrical conductor which is being indicated here. Okay, and the cylindrical conductor is cut into two halves, and the two halves is indicated as A and B, which is being separated by a mica insulation that is indicated here as a shaded region. The slip ring will be attached along with this shaft of rotation. So whenever this coil is rotating, this split ring also rotates along with it. So this is actually the brushes which is being connected to the split rings. Now let's see how the split rings is converting the AC induced EMF in the coil into DC one. For that, you can look into these two diagrams. In these two diagrams, you will be able to see very clearly that the nature of EMF induced in the coil side AB after 180 degrees of rotation has been reversed. That means the nature of induced EMF in this coil side still remains AC in nature, whereas the polarity of these brushes remains the same, or the polarity which is across this load or the direction of current through this load remains the same from M to L, which clearly indicates that this coil side, even after having 180 degrees of rotation, even though the direction of current in the conductor has been changed, the direction of current through the load remains the same. So it's very clear that the split rings is converting the AC induced in this conductor into a DC one. How is it happening means, you very well know that the split ring is also associated with this coil shaft. So So when this coil rotates, what happens is the split rings also rotates. So if you are looking here, the direction of current in this portion, even after 180 degrees of rotation, this B comes here, see, like this. So still after 180 degrees of rotation, this side of this split ring will be always sending out the current, and this side of the split ring will be always receiving the current. Is that clear? So it is very clear that in this case as well as in this case, if you are looking after 180 degrees of rotation, this brushes will be always sending out current and this brushes will be always receiving the current, which clearly indicates that the direction of current or the nature of current which is flowing through this load will be always DC in nature. This is being represented as DC current, so it is being represented here. It will be having only positive half, whereas the nature of EMF induced in the conductor has been mentioned before. The nature of EMF induced in the conductor was AC in nature, whereas the nature of EMF induced in the load will be DC if you are using a split rings. Is that clear? So if instead of split rings, if you are using slip rings, then definitely what happens is after 180 degrees of rotation, the polarity at this brushes also will get reversed and the load voltage will be also AC in nature. Hope the working principle of DC generator is very clear to you. Please don't get confused with the direction of induced EMF in the case of a generator and motor. In the case of generator, always keep it in mind that we will be using Fleming's right hand rule, whereas in the case of motor we will be using Fleming's left hand rule. Generally, the working principle of DC generator with its construction is being asked for the university exams, that too in essay portion, means it will be essay question. So please understand this thoroughly. Okay, thank you.